Okay, so yesterday I got to look for chapter 4 and turn page time again. Alright, however, you can't go further than that. You can't take a pointer to creature. Remember when you say a pointer to a pointer refers to murder. Oh, hold on. I read that part. Yes, yes. I'm a platypus. I read that part. Yes. We'll just wind it back. Chapter for advanced class usage. In this chapter, using polymorphism effectively. In this chapter, we're going to learn using polymorphism effectively, adjusting member access between private, protected, and public when deriving new classes, multiple inheriting new classes, making virtual inheritance work correctly, keeping your friends straight, especially in class, putting one class or type inside another. Classes are amazingly powerful. You can do so much with them. In this chapter, we talk about many of the extra features you can use in your classes. But these aren't just little extras that you may want to use on occasion. If you follow the instructions in this chapter, you should find that your understanding of classes in C++ will greatly improve, and you'll want to use many of these topics throughout your programming. We also talk about many issues that come up when you're deriving new classes and inheriting members. This discussion includes virtual inheritance and multiple inheritance, topics that people mess up a lot. We also describe the ways you can put classes and types inside other classes. Hi, Ryan and Dina. I was hoping you'd make it. Inheriting correctly. I just figured I'd start the chapter from the top again. Without inheritance, doing object-oriented programming would be nearly impossible. Yes, you could divide your work into objects, but the real power comes from inheritance. However, you have to be careful when using inheritance, or you can really mess things up. In the sections that follow, we talk about different ways to use inheritance and how to keep it all straight. Morphing your inheritance. Polymorphism refers to using one object as an instance of a base class. For example, if you have the class creature, and from that you derive the class platypus, you can treat the instances of class platypus as if they're instances of class creature. This concept is useful if you have a function that takes as a parameter a pointer to creature. You can pass the pointer to platypus. However, you can't go further than that. You can't take a pointer to creature. Remember, when you say a pointer, the first pointer really means the address of the second pointer variable. We need to phrase things like that, or our brains might explode in certain situations. So if you have a function such as this, oh, did I get my timer? Sorry, right? I just remembered. If I don't beat my boyfriend calling, then my boyfriend calls. And then that is how I have to end the stream. Because it's not enough hours in the day. Now that I'm about to work. So, 20 minutes. That's the goal. Okay. I got the timer. Okay. Let's see that nicely. So, if you have a function such as this, void feed creature store C out, feed me, inline, you're free to pass the address of a platypus object as in the following. Platypus star Plato equals new platypus, feed Plato. With a function that takes the address of a pointer variable, note the two asterisks in the parameter like this, void eat creature star star c, c out feed me inline. You cannot pass the address of a pointer to a platypus instance, as in this example. Platypus star Plato equals new platypus, eat ampersand Plato. If you try to compile this code, you get a compiler error. You don't always use polymorphism when you declare a variable. If you do, you'll be declaring variables like this. Creature star Plato equals new platypus. The type Plato is a pointer to creature, but the object is a platypus. You can now do this because a pointer to a base class can point to an object of a derived class. But now the compiler thinks that Plato is a pointer to a creature instance, so you can't use Plato to call a member function of platypus. You can use Plato to call only members of creature. For example, if your two classes look like this, class creature, public, void eat food, see out, I'm eating, inline. Class platypus, public, creature, public, voids sing like a bird, see out, I'm singing in the rain, inline. Oh, that song. Yeah, that song this year is now, because it was part of a movie that went into public domain, so now the song is in public domain, singing in the rain. That's a video I saw. I posted that on a post. Yeah, it's a fun song, and it's good to know it's public domain. For anybody who's trying to make some music, you can now cover or remix or do the whole song if you wanted to, and you don't have to pay anyone. It's beautiful, wonderful, the best. All right, anyway. The following would not work. Creature star Plato equals new platypus. Plato pointing to sing like a bird. Although the first line would compile, the second wouldn't. Okay, Leroy Jenkins, that's a fun name. Although the first line would compile, the second wouldn't. When the compiler gets to the second line, it thinks that Plato is only an object of class type creature, and creature does not have a member called sing like a bird. So the compiler gets upset. You can fix the situation by casting like this. Creature star Plato equals new platypus, static underscore cast. Then you have the greater equal to signs. In between that, though, you have platypus space star. Then there's the parenthetical Plato, points to sing like a bird. If you want to save some work, start by declaring Plato as type platypus, as shown here. Platypus star Plato equals new platypus. Plato pointing to sing like a bird. You may need to perform a cast at times. For example, you may have a variable that can hold an instance of an object or its derived object. Then you would have to use polymorphism, as in the following code. Creature star Plato, if has a beak equals true, Plato equals new platypus, else Plato equals new creature. In this code, we have a pointer to creature. In that pointer, we store the address of either a platypus instance or a creature instance, depending on what's in the has a beak variable. But if you use an if statement like that, you shouldn't follow with the call to sing like a bird, even if you cast it. Static underscore cast greater less than symbol in between there platypus, space star, then parenthetical with Plato inside, pointing to sing like a bird. The reason is that if the else clause took place and Plato holds an instance of creature, not platypus, then the creature instance won't have a sing like a bird member function. Either you get some type of error message when you run the application or you don't. But the application will mess up later, and those messing up later errors are the worst kind to try to fix. Adjusting access. You may have a class that has protected members, and in a derived class, you may want to make these members public. You do this by adjusting the access. You have two ways to do this. One is the older way, and the other is the newer American National Standards Institute, ANSI way, which is the method supported by the current version of the GNU compiler collection, GCC. If your compiler supports the new way, the creators of the ANSI standard ask that you use the ANSI way. In the following classes, secret has a member X that is protected. The derived class revealed makes the member X public. Here's the older way. Hi, Dasha first. Oh, awesome. You're here. I'm glad I got out. Hi again, Dasha Ferris. Class secret, protected, int x, class revealed, colon, public secret, colon, x. Please do. There's a reason why I'm showing these parts, because I'm not seeing every little piece of it, because that'd take forever. So if you're interested in learning the code, you gotta look to see all of the braces and semicolons, etc., because those are parts that I just don't go over because they're given that they have to be there. We declared the member X. We used the base class name, 2 colons, and then the member name. We didn't include any type information that was implied. So in the class secret, the member X is protected, but in revealed, it is public. Here's the ANSI way. We've thrown in the word using. Otherwise, it's the same. Dasha Ferris, I'm sorry you're not feeling good. Is it something you just need some cold medicine for, or do you need to go see a doctor? Or some other thing? Okay, so again, it's the same, except for they throw in this word using. Everything else is the same though. So let's learn about using, I guess. And now when you use the revealed class, the inherited member X is public, but X is still protected in the base class. Secret. Okay. So the idea of using is it keeps the protected status for the secret. I suppose the other way could affect the protected status. Warning. If you want to make a protected member public in the red class, don't just redeclare the member. If you do, you end up with 2 member variables of the same name within the class. And needless to say, that can be confusing. Take a look at the following 2 classes. Okay, so that's cool. I just got a grad school. I just got a master's of science in computer science. I just graduated in May. It was great. This is more review for me. Hi Ashley Ferris. Or is it Dasha? What happened to the D? Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's ours. That's the thing. Okay, class secret. Protected in X. Public void set X. X equals 10. Void get X. See out. Secret X is X in line. Class revealed. Public secret. Public in X. The revealed class has 2 and X members. Suppose you try this code with it. Revealed me dot set X, me dot X equals 30, me dot get X. The first line declares the variable. The second line calls set X, which stores 10 in which variable? The inherit X, because set X is part of the base class. The third line stores 10 in which one? The new X declared in the derived class. So then get X is again part of the base class, but will it print 10 or 30? It will print 10. Personally, having 2 member variables with the same name is downright confusing. Fortunately, our brains didn't quite explode because we're still here writing away. We think that would be best if the compiler didn't allow you to have 2 variables with the same name, but even though the compiler allows it, that doesn't mean you should do it. Having 2 variables with the same name is a perfect way to increase the chances of bugs creeping into your application. Hi, Paran Prakash Chaudhary. Tip. Now think about this. Suppose you have a class that has several public members, and you derive a new class. You want all the public members to become protected, except for one. You can do this task in a couple of ways. You could adjust the X's of all members except for the one you want left public, or if you have lots of members, you can take the opposite approach. Look at this code. Oh, thanks for liking. Class secret, int code, number, skeleton key, system magic, class added security, protected secret, public, using secret, magic. Hi, Luna. No, we're not dummies. I just happen to enjoy the For Dummies series of books because they tend to be not too... The literature is a lot more made for regular people and not for astute academics who just want to hear and be able to share how smart they sound. So it's just a better read. Notice that we derived the classes protected, as you can see in the header. Notice what we did. We derived the class as protected, as you can see in the header line for the added security class. That means all the inherited public members of secret will be protected in the derived class. But then we promoted magic back to public by adjusting its member access. Thus, after all is said and done, magic is the only public member of added security. All the rest are protected. Remember, if you have a member that is private and you try to adjust its access to protected or public in a derived class, you quickly discover that the compiler won't let you do it. The reason is that the derived class doesn't even know about the member because the member is public. And because the derived class doesn't know about the member, you can't adjust its access. Was there a typo? Oh, private, yeah. Yeah, if it's private, you're not going to be able to do anything. Okay. Returning something different, virtually speaking. Two words that sound similar and have similar meanings but are nevertheless different are overload and override. Although both words appear in movies, danger, danger, the system is overloaded, so we need to override the built-in security. They're less glamorous in computer programming. But the real danger that results in an overloading of your brain is in confusing the two words where one meaning overrides the other. Phew. So first, let us clarify. To override means to take an existing function in a base class and give the function new code in a derived class. The function in the derived class has the same prototype as the base class. It takes the same parameters and returns the same type. To overload means to take a function and write another function of the same name that takes a different set of parameters. An overloaded function can optionally return a different type, but the parameters must be different, whether in number or type or both. The overload function can live in the same class or in a derived class. The overloaded function. The idea here is to create what appears to be a single function that can take several types of parameters. For example, you may have a function called append that works on strings. By using append, you would be able to append a string to the end of the string represented by the instance, or you could append a single character to the end of the string represented by the instance. Now, although it feels like one function called append, really you would implement it as two separate functions, one that takes a string parameter and one that takes a character parameter. In this section, we talk about one particular issue dealing with overriding functions. That is, replacing a function in a derived class. We said something a few paragraphs back that many others have said. We mentioned that the function must have the same parameter types and must return the same type. Tip: a situation exists under which you can violate this rule, although only slightly. You can violate the rule of an overridden function returning the same type as the original function if all three of the following are true. The overridden function returns an instance of a class derived from the type returned by the original function. You return either a pointer or a reference, not an object. If you return a pointer, the pointer doesn't refer to yet another pointer. That's a good place. Well, all right, that is time. Yeah, it's interesting. Usually the trolls don't really hang out to to C++ time, but okay. Now we've got computer science trolls time for some reason. Oh. Well, that being said, at least I'm that much more into this book. So that's good. And my boyfriend hasn't called yet. And he knows he should be calling me. So hopefully that means he's just busy still. And they'll call me later. But either way, I can go to the next thing on my list and eat some dinner. So thank you, Renardina. You're very kind to say all that. Either way, I'm just happy that you're kind enough to come by to all 3 streams today. I don't even know why I'm crazy enough to do 3 streams. I know I should be like cutting it down to hour top streaming. I'll eventually get to that, but anyway. So yeah. The goal is this weekend put some more color on here, but with some watercolor. That'd be nice. And then I think Wednesday 11 live went okay. And we got in some more C++ All-In-One For Dummies time. So I was taking a nice break from computer science stuff. But it seems to be all right. Oh, thanks, Jed Bartlett. Oh, you're here for all 3 streams too. That's kind. All right, thank you. Oh, Kazam, what's up? Crypto Shark too. All right. Well, hi, Crypto Shark. I'm just about to head out. Gotta go eat and hope my boyfriend calls me when he gets done being busy. Want to make sure he gets home safe. He's doing so much better than he had been. Just, I still am worried though. That Benson Boone song, between that Benson Boone song, Beautiful Things, and Die With a Smile, just. My boyfriend, who is a man, I called him. He's supposed to call me when he's done. All right. Thank you, Crypto Shark. I plan on doing like probably a dancing stream and another C++ stream tomorrow. Oh, he'd only be watching if I send him a link. He might. That's what happened. I was looking at my phone like getting comments and anyway, I'm not getting into all that, but I was like, that's kind of funny. No, that's okay. He needs to be concentrating on what he's doing right now is like super, super, super important. So he needs to just focus on that. Extremely important. But I'm sure he'll call me after he's done. Because otherwise, I'll just have to get into stalker mode time. Nobody likes that, including me. If I have to make myself late to work tomorrow because I have to make sure his car's where it's supposed to be, fine, okay. He needs to. It's important. It's health stuff. It's good that he's handling it. Ray, I'm super sorry. Let me put it this way. Okay. I'm not dancing anymore tonight. That was the second stream I did. But additionally, Friday, that is Friday's Sound and Off. That is all about the soundtracks. So if you happen to catch my Friday dancing live stream and you request that would be great. That sounds like a fun time, but that's called Friday. No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm just gonna go and be a stalker. It's okay. I could do that. It's not far. Oh, get her done. That's funny. Um, teach. I'm just a substitute teacher. Oh, Jed Bartlett. That's very kind of you to say. Hey, I do what I can, but honestly, he really is my rock. He really did help uh make anything possible. Like big difference. No, if I do a field trip, it's gonna be tomorrow personally myself, just to make sure his car is where it's supposed to be. Right now, it's anybody's guess. Now, I already took my medicine, so no driving time for me tonight. It gives me the drowsies, and I'm not trying to end up in some situation. Oh, okay, kidding. All right, get you. Still don't really get the kidding. One of these days, I gotta figure out if I have autism. Probably. Super likely, but whatever. Yeah, sit you first. Well, anyway, yeah. So Ray, if you're interested in hearing a song from a movie, try to catch me on Friday during dancing stream. The thing about Friday is I have longer window of time to work with. Aside from the, I still have to make sure my boyfriend's good part. That's still a thing on Friday, but aside from that, I don't have to like be asleep. Like if I need to like break streams up, the point is I can stay up later. But on weekdays, with my lovely self having to get up at 3:15 in the morning, I can't. I can't. I can't do all that. Oh, thank you, Jed Bartlett. It's nice to have some company. Even if it's virtually, it's better than nothing, I think. All right, then. On that note, I'm going to go get some yummy food time. I appreciate you guys being here and enjoying some C++ time, or the chat, or the vibes, or whatever you enjoy is very good. I've been trying to do what I can throughout last year to try to just help spread some kind of positivity and this and that. And I've got a lot of things I have interest in when it comes to arts and sciences. And so it's nice to have an opportunity to try to share some of that with people. And I'm glad to see that interest is a thing sometimes. Oh, and I hear you, Jeff Bartlett. One of my favorite things to do is get some yummy food time. Oh boy, that's a quick way to turn that smile upside down. But don't do it too often. A lot of people they run into the habit of overdoing that a bit, and then it's all about the comfort foods and that's okay. I don't need to do all that. I got that's part of the reasons I keep things varied because I can just dabble in this, dabble in that. If I get bored with one thing, I can switch up to some other thing. Okay, well, um, thank you. And good night, Jed Bartlett. And good night, Ray. You too, Kazam, and good night, Kazam. And there's my brother.